He was a human soldier, stranded after a war that tore galaxies apart. His ship crashed on a quiet alien moon, cold, silver, and full of life unknown to him. There he met her, an alien healer with eyes that glowed like starlight and skin shimmering under twin suns. At first she feared him. To her people, humans were warriors, creatures of chaos and destruction. But he was different. He helped her village rebuild after a meteor storm, using scraps of his broken ship to make tools, lights, and shelters. She watched him every day, saw the kindness behind his weary eyes. Slowly, fear turned to curiosity, and curiosity to something deeper. They spoke in broken words, shared food, laughter, silence. One night under the violet sky, she touched his hand and said, "You are not like others of your kind." He smiled softly and replied, "Maybe love makes us different." The stars were silent witnesses as two worlds came together. Despite the laws forbidding their bond, they married in secret. Her people whispered, his past comrades would have never understood. But love does not ask for permission. They built a small home near the river where glowing fish swam at night. 10 years passed. Their love grew, their laughter echoed through the alien valley. And soon, they were expecting their first child, a miracle of two species united by love. He looked at her one night and said, "If anything ever happens to me, promise me you will tell our child how much I loved you both." She held his face gently. "Nothing will happen," she whispered. But fate had already written another story among the stars. The child was due in 1 week. He left early that morning to bring supplies from the colony outpost. The sky was calm, the wind still. She waited for his ship to return, holding her belly, whispering to the life inside. Then, without warning, a bright flash tore the horizon. A sound like thunder echoed across the moon. The sky burned red. Her heart froze. She ran toward the light, toward the wreckage falling from the sky. She found only metal, smoke, and silence. His ship had exploded mid-flight. There were no survivors. Her screams reached no one, yet the stars seemed to dim that night. Hours later, under a blood-colored sky, she gave birth alone, a baby boy with his father's eyes. She named him Aaron. Every day, she told him stories of the brave human who taught her love, who made the stars beautiful. Aaron grew strong, curious, and kind. He built small machines like his father once did and stared at the same stars, wondering if they could hear him. But pain lingers and time is not mercy. Years later, her health began to fade. She recorded one final message for her son, a story of love, courage, and the promise she could not keep. When she closed her eyes for the last time, she whispered his name and his father's together. The wind carried her words into the stars. Years passed. Aaron was no longer a child. The stories of his parents were all he had left, his mother's recordings, his father's broken tools, and an old photograph of them together. He lived alone on the same moon where they had loved and died. People from distant worlds called him the half-human, the last of his kind. Some feared him, some pitied him, but Aaron carried his parents' legacy in his heart. One evening, as the twin suns sank behind the hills, he played his mother's final message again. Her voice was faint but full of warmth. "Aaron, when you look at the stars, remember, they are watching you just like we are. Be strong, my son. Make us proud." Tears fell silently. He looked toward the sky, his reflection shimmering in the river beside their old home. That night he made a vow to finish what his father started, to build something beautiful where loss once lived, using old human schematics and alien energy crystals. Aaron built a beacon, a tower of light that shone through the galaxy. It was not a weapon, but a message, a signal of peace. Planets across the stars received it. The message was simple. Love survives. And somewhere in the quiet vastness of space, two souls finally rested, their son's promise lighting up the same stars that once witnessed their love.